Hey yo!
Hey everyone!
Hi,
Hello!
and what a
It
pleasure
is.
it is to be here.
So fucking hot.
So fucking good.
So
It
hot.
is. We are Wicked Game. It is Wicked Wednesday, which means can only mean one thing, guys. It means that we're playing our campaign to Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. It is called the Lighthouse of Eisodos. We're going to do a couple of little announcements first. First off, we're going to just say it again. We are so incredibly thankful to all the people who donated last week during our charity stream for Norfolk LGBT+. We're really still, I'm sort of saying for me, but I think everybody is the same way. We're still sort of in a daze from it. We don't, it's not fully sunk in just how crazy all of you guys are.
Did it feel like it was a month ago for anyone else?
Yes,
It
Yeah.
feels like so long ago.
I fully this morning I went. Oh, we're playing Lighthouse again tonight. What the fuck happened last time we were there? Like,
I got you. Don't worry about it. I'll fill you in.
Fill me in.
I'm going to fill you right in. Tomorrow, Michelle and I are going to do some Dragon Age 2. It is not quite time for smutty fanfic reading, but Michelle, am I right? We are well overdue some smooches.
We haven't had a single smooch yet, Lydia.
Dry from, it's unacceptable.
Yeah.
So,
I know we could have had smooches by now as well. I know it in my bones.
this is
Bones?
we're gonna go at it hard.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of things that are going to be trickling out from like post charity week. So please be patient because there's quite a lot to sort of organize and get going. And we're all people who work well, kind of. So moving on. Our beloved Rooney Runes has she's got a podcast. I don't know if everybody knew about this. I think you probably did. But she's got a podcast coming out, which has got our own fair, sweet Tom in it. And so, hear me now. You better, first of all, go to social medias and find Starfall Podcast, at Starfall Podcast on all social medias, and go and follow for updates. But then more importantly, I want you to go to wherever you get your pods, like Spotify or, I don't know, whatever the Apple app is called, or wherever, and like follow, have a little listen to the trailer, write a little review, put those 5 stars in, do it. And because Friday is the day, the 23rd, I know what you're saying. What, Ted Lasso Day? We're saying no. Screw Ted Lasso. It's Starfall Day.
Starfall Day.
I'm so excited. I've listened to little bits and pieces so far, and oh my lord, it sounds so good.
Yeah.
Very brief. It's a magical world with a traveling troupe of performers, basically, and
Really drop the
It's gonna
links.
be so good.
So
I'm gonna be
good.
listening to it on the car on the way to London, and I'm gonna then write loads of messages in our Discord. Our Discord's gonna be popping off talking about it. So I encourage you all to go and have a little listen. Even if you're like, I don't know, magical troupe, is that my thing? Just fucking do it. It's gonna be your thing. I'm telling you now, it's gonna be your thing. So that is that. Thanks to all our mods. Obviously, Rune is one. Atomic Flash is another. Sweet Poison is another. Thank you to Ivan Dutch, who writes the music that we use and lets us use it for free. Legend. Have I missed anything? I don't think so. I'm going to quickly move into previously on the Lighthouse of Eisodos.
Dun, dun, dun.
Right, everyone be quiet, because I actually do need to pay attention to this.
Not now.
Hey guys, what accent is my character?
Russian.
I don't know, somewhere in America, somewhere non-specific in either the Midwest or the Southern America. So, previously on the Lighthouse of Eisodos, our 3 lighthouse keepers survived an incredibly difficult voyage to get to the island, and they were sort of welcomed by this thick, heavy, ominous fog, and no one to like say hello, show them around, or help them get the ropes. So they made their way slowly through the mist to discover that something had gone very awry. Mav found a logbook in the homestead that was sort of like a journal, a diary, a log, whatever, that explained that some pirates had come and had somewhat like taken a liking to the island, and they had sort of slowly gone mad. The residents had gone slowly mad over the month, thinking that they were seeing people, that things were going missing. They weren't quite sure what was going on. And it was clear through little like splashes of blood and marks here and there that there was a fight going on. So they followed the tracks and moved through the island, through this foggy island, finding dead bodies along the way. And then finally they came to the actual lighthouse on the island. And how many times have I said island? Tons. And through the fog, they saw people fighting, pirates versus the old residents that they were supposed to be taking over from. And the pirates killed all the residents that they were meant to be taking over from. And in this terrible moment, this boom happened and the light went out. The most sacred law of Eisodos is the light must never go out. The light went out. Not great. So it took they dispatched the pirates. Obviously, they are the heroes. And they went up to the lighthouse, and it took all three of them, using up every last little bit of magic that they had, to get the light going again, through some lucky kind of rolls. And Mav stayed put at the top of the lighthouse, kind of exhausted and worried, and Cece and Elle went back to the dock, where they bid goodbye to the people on the ship who brought them here. So that is where we left off. Mav in the lighthouse, Cece and Elle on the dock of an actual bay. So unless there's any further ado, we are for sure shedding our mortal skins and ascending to Iridia as a treat. Nikki, roll it.
Play the tape.
Play the fucking tape.
Welcome to the Iridian Empire. The ruling land is led by Emperor Julian II. You do not find us in the hustle and bustle of Iridian cities, with the push and pull of politics and law and order, nor in the dusty plains with the whispered prayers from farmers' lips, nor the treacherous Sierras. You do not find us in the northern jungles, the eastern deserts, or the southern wilds. Today, you find us in the westernmost part of the Iridian Empire. If you were to dust off a very particular and long-forgotten history book, you might read about a powerful arcanist who commanded the very seabed to rise up and form itself into a cluster of idyllic islands as a gift to his beloved and first emperor of Iridia. On the northernmost bluff of these islands, a lighthouse was formed from stone and crystal, a beautiful beacon to all that enter the empire's waters, reminding them that they are now embraced by the borders of the greatest civilization that has ever been. These islands were named Eisodos din Iridia, or the mouth of Iridia, but most people just called it Eisodos. Every year a new community was curated to care for the lighthouse and the islands, a dozen or two people that would bask in the paradise of this constructed archipelago. Their only law was that the light must never go out. Your history book might tell you this, and it might even tell you of the rumours of those that returned from the islands blessed and changed. But those are just bard songs and tittle-tattle, and only a fool would take them at face value. For now the year is Epoch of Julian 26, and you could count on one set of hands the people that knew of Eisodos. The centuries have slowly worn the memory of this place from people's minds like etched writing on a lichen-covered tombstone. Each year, fewer and fewer people came to the island, and those employed to recruit found themselves hardly caring, and so we find only 3 caretakers brought for the task. Only 3 lighthouse keepers to farm and maintain and live on Eisodos for a full year. El is a wood elf, with peaceful eyes and a great attachment to his friend Jacques, a crab he saved from a trap. El took this job for his crustacean friend as a treat away from the hubbub of towns and cities. Then there's the beautiful half-elf known as Cece, full of wit and vivacity. It wasn't long ago that she was addressed as Lady Cecilia Arcavia. If you asked her, she might find it hard to explain how she got here, or what happened that day on the ship when she was saved from the brink of death by a mysterious being. And finally, Maverick Spells, known by many as Mav. The dazzling and renowned author has many volumes to his name that could raise your pulse and bring a flush to your cheek. He tells himself he's on a grand writer's retreat, but sometimes Maverick is not completely honest with himself. There is talk of an elderly hermit that wanders a dilapidated temple, a permanent member of the island thought to be a worshipper of Tiesh, the god of tempests. Our lighthouse keepers cannot yet know what the island has in store for them. They only know that they've been promised paradise and a year away from their lives. Lives that, for whatever reason, they left behind. Welcome to Wicked Games, the Lighthouse of Eisodos.
Homework. Hey, y'all.
Tell me, as you are watching, it's still misty. It's not as misty as it was before. It's starting to lift. That sun is starting to push through the mist and it's getting really bright. But you watch that ship disappear from you.
Don't cry. Just try not to cry, Cece.
What? Well, it's fine. Just
It's fine, right?
you'll be fine. Like, there's a bit of blood, and like you see, like there's probably not gonna be some more like that, like them folks coming onto the island anytime soon. So we'll be fine. We handle ourselves. You and that awful wet sword of yours can do a lot.
Thank you.
There's it's okay. I suppose we should probably get moving before the tide comes in.
Oh, right.
What with all of our earthly possessions being sitting on this beach, so
Oh, right. Okay.
y'all want to help me move it up to the kind of the promenade,
Yeah.
the kind of
sure.
the tip of the coast, and then y'all maybe fancy dropping that lady's the local stuff off to them.
Oh, yeah. There was someone on another island. We got to take stuff too, right?
Yeah, like maybe it's just kind of like I don't know. We got to figure out which one of them is for them. I'm sure it's labeled.
Elle, with your passive perception, as you're sort of looking at the piles of crates that they've left, you realize that it had been kind of obscured before by the larger by the ship, but there's actually a rowboat, and it is it's full of crates. They've put certain crates in a boat.
Now, I'm reckoning that all that there in that boat is for the locals. So, I mean, if you can either help me or me and Jackson can probably manage that ourselves if you want to, get to rowing. Given your proclivities for chatting to folk.
I do like chatting to folk.
Well, there'll be plenty of folk. That island is probably full of locals.
Oh,
Everyone always thinks that everywhere is uncharted, but more often than not, there's like some furbolgs or wood elves or halflings that have lived there for centuries. It's kind of like this whole thing we call like society doesn't extend its vast reaches beyond everywhere. They just only acknowledge what they see.
Right. Okay.
When
so
a tree falls in the woods, it does make a sound, even though you might not be there to hear it.
What sound does it make?
It's a crashing sound of a tree falling. It's not a different sound when no one's there.
Oh. Yeah, that makes sense. Why do people say that then?
People think stuff only happens when they perceive it, and this is where society's got this idea that their way of life is the best, because they only see the good times that they perceive. They don't see the relaxed good times of lands untouched.
Right. Right. Okay. You've really confused me now. I don't know how much use I'm gonna be. Any of the crates, not in the little rowboat. Do I look like I could carry any of them, or do they all look like pretty big?
The crates in the boat.
No. The ones that are ours. Like basically, can I help Elle, or should I just take the rowboat and go?
Tell me what your strength score is again.
12.
Yeah, you could carry them one at a time. Equally, you could carry the crates on the boat one at a time, and you got over to the other island. I mean, you are a physically capable woman now, much more than you were before, and you're enjoying the kind of exertion that the little bit of exertion that you've done so far.
Yeah. All right.
So, I don't know, I'm not going to put thoughts in Ophelia's mouth, but Ophelia, sorry, it's because your Zoom thing says Ophelia on
it.
Euphoria, please.
Cece, perhaps a little while ago, you would not have thought to pick these things up, but now you're like, well, I guess this is me. There's a little kind of like, yeah.
I can do this. Well, it's up to you. Do you want help, or do you think I should just take it?
What would make you more comfortable with your immediate time on this island? Maybe chatting to some locals?
Yeah, I think if I find out that there's a bunch of locals, so we're not completely alone.
Why don't you go say hi to the locals?
All right.
Let them know that we're here.
All right.
Right? And if they don't want us over there any more than doing this delivery, we won't go over there.
All right.
Just be respectful.
Okay.
Yeah? That ain't our land to kind of to push our ideas on.
No, I'm not going to push my ideas. Cece's just looking at the boat like, how do I do this?
It's like, how do I say this? It's like pushing backwards. Not pulling, it's like pushing backwards. Cause y'all gonna push, but the pivot point is gonna go the other way. So y'all's pushing backwards. So it's like if you're against a wall, if you
do that.
Every time Elle talks to Cece, she just gets more.
Classic high whiz, low intelligence
The moment
conversation.
you said pivot points, I saw Michelle's face go.
It's just think about you've swam before, right?
Yeah, I've swam.
You know when you're in the water and you're flowing, and then you just sort of like push yourself off a wall and you kind of move away.
Yeah, I guess.
It's like that, but only you're on a boat. So
All right.
grab the oars and
All right.
push off the wall, and you'll be going backwards.
Cece gets in, doesn't put the oars in the water, and just like does.
Smack.
It's not working. Are they like?
You got it, hun. In.
Oh.
In. So you lift
Right.
up, and the oars go down.
Oh, this is harder though.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's about that.
Okay. All right.
No, you don't just move it back and forth. You will stay still. It's you push and then lift up and then move again.
This is the whole episode, isn't it?
it's like scooping yourself through the water.
All right, so I'm doing this.
Yeah, pretty
It
much.
just disappears off further into the bay.
How
like
do I
into
turn?
this.
Elle,
Takes a
how do I turn?
just move the one arm more than the other. You'll get it.
I got this.
You'll get it.
Like after a long time, you see her come back back out of the mist again, and like row past you, and round the edge of the like sandy peninsula. And Cece, it is once you get round and you start rowing west, there is this kind of heart-thumping moment, not just because it's the physical exertion of it, but you can't see the West Island because there's still some mist. So you are just rowing out into the ocean. It feels like a little bit. It's a calm day, but you can't see where you're going. So what I would like is a survival check, or you're lost forever. I'm kidding.
Joltish.
But do you roll a survival check for me?
You want me
Death
to roll?
number 2.
Oh no! You want me to roll survival? How about I persuade the sea?
No, ma'am.
CC is South Park's Kenny. Every single episode, she's gonna die somewhere.
Yes.
Like,
I mean,
That's
I
all
might.
warlocks are, right?
I rolled a 9.
Okay. And can you give me an athletics check as well, just so that I get like a real picture of what the fuck is going on here?
Another 9.
Only 9s today. Okay.
Only 9.
You're going and you feel suddenly very alone. You can't see the island that you pushed away from, and you can't see the island that you're going to, and your shoulders, your back, the muscles underneath your shoulder blades, all these muscles across here, they start aching real bad. And you row hard for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. The waves are slapping against the side of the rowboat.
Joltish.
What's this for, Nikki?
Can I not have, obviously she didn't have to row a boat. Can I have not paid attention to her going out? Her rowing out?
I mean, with your passive perception as you were doing it, she looked very... I mean, you also don't know where the West Island is.
No, I'm talking about her physically rowing a boat.
Oh, she was doing fine.
Okay.
I'm doing okay. I just...
Certainly when she was pushing off, she was if anything, you would have looked and gone, she's strong.
Fair enough.
Stronger than the woman that got on the boat at Arroway Haven, that's for sure. Now, like 30 minutes pass, Cece, and you are knackered. You are starting to think like, you don't know how much longer you're going to be able to row. The pain in your muscles is a lot. And then you just spy this little sandy mound coming out of the top of the water.
Land. Oh,
And then like another one nearby, and you're just seeing like the water break on these little like sandy mounds, these kind of sandbanks. And you pull the rowboat round them and come to the shoreline, and the mist is really starting to lift now. There's a real brightness to the bits that are left, and you are starting to kind of get an idea of the island. It's like stretching out before you, and you hear a flapping of wings as that albatross swoops over the head of you and like lands on the really clumsily, like takes a tumble on the sand and then gets up and like sort of walks around, looks at you, shakes its wings out. You are still like in the rowboat against the shoreline now.
But can I like either jump out and pull the rowboat to shore, or?
You can get out to pull the rowboat is going to be immensely heavy because it has all the crates on it. It has like six crates that are heavy. So you can do it, but it would be an athletics check, difficulty 20.
All right, I've got a 10% chance, I think, of doing it. Let's see. Alas, I do not. I got a 15.
Okay. You're putting it is like wedged on the sand, but the water is still lapping up around it, and your feet are like sinking into the sand. It's really awkward and uncomfortable, and the albatross is just watching you while you do it. You can't. It's sort of like trying to move a carriage out of wet sand.
Oh, I'm moving it onto the sand.
That's what it made it. That's what. Sorry, that's when you described like pulling it up onto the shore. That's what it sounded like to me.
Yeah, like not fully onto the shore. I just so I could wedge it, so it could sit on the sand.
Well, it is sat on the sand.
Okay, that's fine.
But the water does come up all around it and round the front of it.
Oh.
So,
Is there a rope tied to it or anything? Can I like tie it down so it doesn't like float away?
There's some rope at the front, and you begin to like unwind it from the bit front.
That stick.
Prow.
And you sort of look around you, and having just like yanked at the boat for a long time and doing all this, you turn around and you've been like distracted by the albatross, and then you look and you see this beach that just stretches out and stretches inland, and then there are these trees, and the land kind of gently slopes upwards, and way in the distance, because the mist is really lifting now, you can see a kind of cliff edge, like a ridge line way off in the distance. And I mean, it's going to be tough to actually tie this to anything because it's beachy.
Right. Cece, use your brain. I look at the albatross. Can you hold this? And I'm gonna start calling it like a cat. You're like, come here, good albatross. Will you hold this?
Well, handling.
18.
The albatross looks at you, flaps its wings, turns around, begins sprinting with its huge webbed feet in the other direction, and takes off and flies away.
That's what an 18 gets you, folks.
That's what an 18 gets you.
Fat lot of use. You are. Right. Okay. I'm just gonna. Oh goodness. Can I look around? Like, is there signs of people?
Please roll a perception check.
I think Cece's sort of talking to herself, as if maybe there's someone there. Like, hello, I got your stuff. We're the new people. You can come get your things. Cece's fully just got sand in her eye as I roll a 1. Yeah.
You rolled a 1. Yeah, you rolled a 1, and essentially, it's a lot of things. You got that grand vista for the first time, which sort of took your breath away, and then it is not windy today, but you are just, I don't know, the sun maybe coming through the mist kind of gets you, and you've got dots in your eyes, and you are not really kind of seeing too well. So yeah, there you are. You're still holding that rope. This is definitely it.
This is the episode.
I'm sorry, I roll so bad.
Hey, no,
it's just such a shame that the only good roll that you've had is for something that was oddly difficult to do, which is ask an albatross to hold your boat for you.
I do like.
Does it oddly difficult, Lydia?
I do feel like it's wonderfully seasoned. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this whole thing, you just sort of stood with a boat going
it's very correct. I think
Yeah.
for somebody that perhaps has spent some years very used to always having someone's hand to hold, or someone to, if she were to pick something up and put it out, someone would pick it up for her. And so you sort of getting this rope, and instinctively you hand it to somebody who's not there.
Someone do it for me. Okay. Right. Ooh, okay. I got an idea.
We've got a bit of Malloy in my
I'm gonna summon my sword.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tie it to the handle and then like jab it in the sand.
Okay.
And like just be like, does this look like it's gonna hold it, or is it like pop out straight away?
The watery blade quickly makes the sand around it very much like harder and waterlogged. And for a second it like stays. You kind of regard the boat there.
Stay.
You just remind me with a hex blade, what happens when it's not in your hand anymore? Like,
It still functions.
Yeah.
so yeah, I mean, it's a small blade. It's a rowboat with stacked high with crates.
Okay. No, nobody gonna come help? Oh god.
Excuse me while I just get some Malloy out my eye, otherwise I'm simply going to go mad.
Yeah, you do you. I have no idea what to do. Do I just pick up a crate and start walking?
Hey, you're on your own.
I am on my own. I'm gonna start picking up crates and like standing them on the island.
It takes a long while because they are heavy. That some of these crates are just filled with like manure and
Shit.
and sort of they're not, they're not light. So it takes a long time, and it is you wading out into the water, picking them up, wading back, putting them down. But after a long while, and man, your shoulders are going to be sore in the morning, but you're done. You've got this nice little neat pile of crates on the shoreline, and the boat is a little bit lighter and like bobbing kind of here, there. So you could probably now fairly easily, give me another athletics check.
Right, we're not rolling you. Dirty. What's this?
Dirty Barovian.
Eisodossian? Eisodossian?
A lighthouse
Eisodossian,
20.
Yeah. Yeah, you're like, this makes total sense, and you boom, pull it way onto like the drier part of the sand, and grab your sword back out.
Yeah, I think
well done.
job well done. Cece rewards herself with like probably like at least a solid 10 minute just lay down on the beach.
Face down or face up?
I think face up, but just like starfishing, like looking up at the sea, just at the sea.
Looking up at the sea.
Looking up at the sky.
Well, you say that. Two things. First of all, well done, CC. Level up to level 5. Second of all, it could be dependent on which way the sea is going, whether it's coming in or going out. Could very well be looking up to the sea very soon. I'm just saying.
Oh no! Oh god. Yeah, she starfishes, and assuming she doesn't get wet from the tide coming in, then she'll like dust herself off, stand up, hands on
Back
hips.
absolutely caked in sand.
Yeah, this is
Just everywhere now.
this is tough.
You
but-
know that shit's fallen down inside your dungarees.
Oh my god, it's everywhere. Or like she took one step on sand and it just was everywhere. I'll pick up a lighter box, and start walking. And
Alright.
just talking to myself / anyone, like, hello, new people have arrived. Got your stuff here. Be nice if you came, give me a hand.
You walk for a while. What again is your passive perception is 10, and your roll me a survival check.
Cool. All the things I'm great at.
Survival.
Why did I pick
handling.
a character that's fully charisma?
No NPCs, but all the charisma.
All the charisma.
I mean, yeah, it's one of those things where, like, I will forever curse any metagamers. However, we didn't know what we were getting into to a certain extent.
Yep.
And this coming from the fucking the wizard as well.
Yeah. That's a 2. Solid 2. Yeah.
Okay, you start walking and you find your way into the kind of tree line a little bit, and almost immediately you trip on a root and the box goes like tumbling out of your arms. You go arse over tea kettle, and it just immediately feels like an impossible task, but you pick yourself up, you pick up the crate, pray that nothing in there is broken, and you trudge on for a little bit, and it isn't too long before you see, you wouldn't have walked straight into it, but it's just to the side of you, there is like a glade in the wood not too far in, like almost as soon as you walk into the tree line, there's a kind of a cleared out area, and you see brickwork through the trees, stonework.
I immediately start heading towards it.
Okay.
Doing the same routine.
It.
Oh, hello.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, doing the same routine of like, hello, is anyone there?
You don't get any reply, but as you walk into this little clearing, you see this this circular building with rich orange stone, and these interesting like vines crawling up it that have a kind of grey, pale grey vine, and then this like orangey, much like ivy, but sort of autumnal ivy. And there is a archway sort of facing you, actually, and it's like round and it's got a domed roof.
Oh. Weird. I'm gonna just pop the box down, and just like poke my head in. Hello.
You pop your head in through this archway, and what you see is on this floor, it immediately becomes a pool of water that's swirls into a kind of gentle whirlpool in the middle. And then either side of the archway is a spiral, like not staircase, but like steep ramp that goes up to a balcony level. And sort of first level right in front of you, because it's balcony, you can see it, is a big shrine. And light floods in through the top and through like glass in the sides of this. What you now realize is very probably a temple.
Oh, this is very beautiful.
But it's very empty.
Right, you're probably not in here, are you? Alright, you're not... Nobody praying right now? And I'm going to just take a look in the water as well.
Yeah, the sound of water is the only thing that really answers you, and it is... you can't immediately see the bottom of this water unless you want to wade in, but there is a current in the water that spins round. Not enough for it to look really like terrifying. It's not a whirlpool, but it is. It's very purposefully pushing round and round and round, and there is that little like in the middle, that little bit that kind of goes down almost like a plug hole, but. Not deep enough that you would think anything's really going down. It's mainly just about the movement of water.
Alright, Cece takes that in, steps back out, again, hands on hips, does a little sigh, and then just looks around for some kind of, like, path, maybe, from this temple. So that she
Great,
can follow.
roll me a perception check, and for the love of God, up more.
Cece's gonna struggle on the island.
Was it a 1?
It's another 1. Cece, my love.
Only NPC rolls.
Oh, God.
I love this journey.
You can take the N out of the PC, but you can't take the PC out of the N.
Yeah.
Um,
She's meant to be a commoner or an NPC.
I see your face, Nikki.
no,
I know full well it didn't work.
I mean, it's something that one of my characters would say, honestly, Tom.
What I'll say is this. You pick up that box and you start walking through the woods, and we'll leave you there.
Yeah.
Ta-da.
This is where I die for the second time.
Mav, let's go back to
Right.
you. Sitting on the top of the lighthouse with the lighthouse manual in your lap, reading it through. Tell me about it all. Tell me everything.
I think first of all, Mav goes as soon as the other two leave. Mav goes directly to his small tote bag and take out the a sort of delicate what's it called? Schnifter thing. What's it called?
Tinderbox?
Nope.
No, like a little drinking
Flask.
Flask.
Flask. Thank you.
flask.
And just swig down like 2 or 3 mouthfuls of brandy to kind of settle the nerves. And then he's going to, I think, so just before the other two left the lighthouse, we had created a kind of rudimentary like the plaster to reconnect the arcana to arcana. How is it looking currently? Is it looking weak?
It looks okay. I mean, if you wanted it to look prettier, you could file down some of the rougher, like essentially masonry work that you did, but you do run the risk of chipping out the work that you did. You did okay. I seem to remember your rolls were all right. It was it will do. I think if you wanted to do really good work, you would have to know a little bit more about masonry first, and then come at it with a better mixture, cement mixture.
So I think I'm certainly going to leave it for now, because Mav knows his strengths and he also knows his weaknesses, and masonry isn't one of the strengths. So I think he's going to spend a bit of time up at the top, looking out over the island. I think you said at the end of last session that the mist had sort of lifted quite considerably.
It has. You looking out now, you are beginning to get a really good view. I'm sorry. No. You're beginning to get a really good view of the island. You can't see the full island, but you can begin to see the mountain ridge that you walked through and saw the dead bodies.
Okay. Presumably, I'm not sort of close enough, and the mist is still obscuring the where we came from, where the house, the homestead is, and stuff like that.
Give me a perception check.
Happily.
Actually, not a perception check.
Yep.
A survival check.
Survival. Oh, why you got to do me like that? He said.
Because I'm a little bitch.
Oh, that's not bad. 18, so 16.
Okay. Looking at the ridge that you can now see, you kind of realize you're like trying to figure out, okay, so we came from there and then we kind of came from there, and you're trying to orientate yourself.
Yeah.
And you realize you wouldn't be able to see the homestead anyway because you did too much. Like you walked up a cliff and then the land sloped up and then there was the mountain ridge. So it's too down. You wouldn't be able to see from where you are into the bay.
Cool.
It is obscured by the ridge and just the sort of shape of the land. But you can also see out into the water, which is glittering in the sunlight now.
I think Mav actively doesn't look out to sea because he intentionally does not want to realize how far away from literally anything else they are. So he will actively not be looking out to sea currently. But I think he'll dither a little bit at the top, grab the book, and start walking down the stairs towards where the sort of little house, sort of the little living quarters were.
Yeah.
I mean, like when he steps in, kind of, what does he see?
Well, the first thing that you see when you step down from the lighthouse is all the bodies.
No.
You step gingerly over those, ignore them, and the door is still open to the cottage, which is essentially on the north side of the lighthouse. So you have to kind of step further away to get there.
Yep.
And it's extremely basic. There is like a cot, like a little bed, but it doesn't seem like anyone slept there recently.
Okay.
It's got a table, it's got basic like provisions and cupboards and stuff, but it's very barren.
Okay. I think what he's gonna are there like, is there like tea in the cupboards? Are there any kind of like?
Give me a little investigation.
Thank you. Oh God. Dice, why you gotta do me like that? That's a 9.
9.
9.
So, you can't really see much. You find, sadly, you find a kind of green shape, and when you pick it up, it is one of the oldest bits of bread you've ever seen, which is just powdered mold everywhere, and the spores lift up into your face. No, you can't find tea. You do see that there's a kettle and a space where people have, a kind of stone area where people have put made a little fire and put a cauldron over the top.
Cool. Gagging to himself, he immediately tries to prestidigitate the bread to make it clean again, and then does it to his fingers as well, kind of like a
prestidigitating the spores away from you.
Yeah. I think with that, he'll take one of the chairs out towards the door and just kind of like prop it in the door, looking out. And
the view outside of that door is thus: you've got like a kind of brambly, overgrown area. There's that kind of tough grass that only sort of seems to survive on that very chalky white cliff type of stone.
Yeah.
And then only really 10 meters ahead of you is the sharp cliff edge which goes straight into the ocean.
I think this is all just dither for Mav. So I think what he will do, looking at that and seeing that actually it's not particularly nice to look at anyway, especially given the fact that there's probably like the shoe of a dead body kind of just peeking its way into his like small frame. He kind of mutters to himself, brings the chair back. Creates fire in the hearth to just give the place a little bit more, and he will sit down, open the book, and as he does so, he goes to read for a second, takes a couple of deep breaths, and goes, takes his book out. Picks a singular word in the book and flicks it from the book. The word is euphoria, and the spell that he's casting is silent image. And before him sat in the other chair a woman appears. A woman with beautiful dark skin with sort of almost veins of gold, much like some sort of beautiful marble. Gold eyes, hair that cascades from around her shoulders, and She looks at him and smiles. And Maverick, despite himself, despite the fact that he knows that he's conjured this image himself, smiles back and starts to read the manual.
With that comforting presence of the woman with jet black skin and gold patterns, you begin to read. Tell me, give me a intelligence roll with the intelligence modifier.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God. This is how wonderfully thematically appropriate. I rolled a 1 for a total of 5.
Have you?
Lydia's going, oh shit.
Oh shit. I'm just going to quickly send you a message.
Yep. No, I don't. If it's the question that I think you're going to ask.
Yeah, I just want it for my records. Okay. So,
yeah, no, I used them. I used.
Oh, you used them for this day already. That's fair. All right. So, on a 5, despite feeling a little comforted by the presence of this woman, you cannot quite shake the feeling of being so lost. And as you read these pages, you have a feeling that you do not like at all, which is to be intellectually inferior of the people who wrote this book and the people who added to this book over the years. This huge tome has pages pasted in, it has notes in the margin. This has been added to and perfected and refined over the years, and you have not got a fucking clue what's going on here. What you do know is that the spells, the glyphs, are lots of different kinds of magic. That's one of the things that's really throwing you off, is that you assumed when you were going to look at what these glyphs were and what the carvings and the magic were all about, you would imagine it would just be light spell after light spell after light spell. And what you're seeing is magic from all kinds of schools, not just kinds of schools of magic, but different types of magic. And it really throws you off.
I will ask just very briefly, because I'm a cheeky motherfucker. Can I, like, with that 5, or with like potentially an additional like Arcana roll or something like that, looking at some of those spell types, the types of magic that are being infused into this lighthouse, would I be able to divulge any of the kind of main contributors, so to speak? So whether it's mainly divination, whether it's mainly necro, whether it's
right, give me a cheeky Arcana.
Thank you.
I don't give you nothing.
I'm nothing if not fucking cheeky. Okay. Okay. Thank you, Lydia. That was 15 plus 6, so 21.
Ooh. Damn, I should not have given you that roll.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it takes you a second and you feel really lost and you hate that feeling, and then you just, you go back to your 2 terms at the Divisia census and you're like, I gotta come at this from a different, like from my old school days. Yeah. Think about it. What would my masters have told me to read into this? And, you start looking at these things and you're like, okay, there is a kind of, there is every school of magic here. There is particularly strong, obviously illusion magic, but also abjuration magic. And there is divine magic here. There is shadow magic here. The maths of it makes no sense to you whatsoever. It's like having a sum where it is 2 plus 4 plus 10, and the answer is 36, a bunch of bananas, a heart palpitation, and a broken heart. Like it just, it doesn't make sense to you at all.
Yeah.
It is beyond what you can kind of comprehend. But you have this really clear sense that this isn't just light. It is also protection. It is warding. There is a great deal of energy that doesn't just go out, it goes in.
Right, okay.
And but on another note, as you're going through it and you're like trying to work out what you're looking at, you know, mathematically and all of that kind of thing, there are some newer pages in this, and you sort of go down a bit of a rabbit hole with it, and they're talking about how different people in different years have set up rigs so that you do not have to constantly be at the lighthouse.
Okay.
And you realize that there is actually a fail-safe to the light. And you realize that when you were getting the pink pulse of light, that is the fail-safe.
Okay.
It makes total sense because now it's a solid light that just moves out. And before it was a pulse. So essentially the crystal is this sort of bright pinky peachy color. It radiates this pinky purple light, and when it constant light, when it's on fail-safe, it changes to a deeper purple light and it pulses.
Okay.
And from that time, you have half an hour to solve the problem before the backup runs out and the light goes out. And there is really no advice for what to do then, other than what you did. But what I mean is, like, there's no understanding of what the repercussions are of when the light goes out.
Okay.
That's I've just told you loads.
You have, and I appreciate it. Thank you. I think
essentially lots of people have done lots of different things to try and give people a chance to not constantly be at the lighthouse.
I think you know, unfortunately, I apologize to all of you who saw the ridiculously flamboyant Mav of last session. I think he's quite morose. He's quite disturbed by what he's seen, and kind of spends a lot of his time kind of in the interim just flicking through the pages, making as many notes as he can, though they are small. And I think after a fashion, he looks up at the woman in front of him, closes the book, looks at her and goes, "What have I done?" And with that, a dragon chessboard comes out, appears in the illusion on the table, and he starts to play dragon chess with
himself.
With himself.
She is ever smiling, giving you eye contact, moving the pieces, and it is comforting, but it is also empty.
Comforting in the emptiest way possible, and he has that pit in his stomach the entire time. Hey folks, welcome to my brain.
Straight into the feels.
It's like emotional candy floss.
Yes.
Oh my god, that's a really good analogy. It just disappears as soon as it's in your mouth. Al, you are carrying the boxes up. You've got the big task of carrying all of this stuff up. You have obviously your boy Jax, that you can put crates on his back, and he happily skitters up the hill. But you are just slogging it through.
Absolutely.
Give me an athletics, not because you can fail it, but just to see how long it would take you.
I assume Jax is helping me, right?
For sure.
Dirty 20.
Yeah, you it is helped by the fact that as this mist dissipates, you begin to get this incredible view of the bay as you're working, and it is, you see it in Jax as well. Jax gets quite kind of cheerful, and you see there's a new like click in his step.
This is fully our shit.
Yeah. Up the hill, down the hill, across the rope bridge, like you get into a real rhythm of it, back and forth.
We're like humming, or I'm like humming little tunes, and he's like,
clicking along.
Like it's real Disney Pixar traveling montage. Like it's real like Jungle Book, Brother Bear shit. Like this is like just quiet work in a nice environment. Like this is fully.
Please tell me that he uses his own shell as like percussion for your song.
He does. He's currently got stuff on there, so he can't at the moment.
Castanets. It takes you most of the day, but it feels like a good day spent. Just the hard labor of shifting these boxes, and once you're done, you know, you look around. There you are. You're standing at the homestead. It is middle of the afternoon, and pile of boxes outside the front of this dwelling. This it's mostly, I think, 3 stories, but it has little turrets here and there. And what do you do?
Seeing that we've like moved all the stuff, this is not what Nikki would do, but I think Elle is going to walk to the beach, walk to the shore, not necessarily where the boat came in, but just the nearest shore. And he's going to take he's got sandals on. He's got like Birkenstock like sandals on.
Fantasy Birkenstocks, sure.
Yeah, he's going to like roll up his like 3/4 length, like all that. I think his like trousers are already
You've made yourself
rolled.
short shorts by doing that.
No, just above the knee, and I think he's gonna sit with his feet in the water, or stand with his feet in the water, and just kind of like splash water over the top of Jax, and just kind of like just generally just chill out for a like just relax.
It is gorgeous because now that the mist has dissipated and it's a bright sunny day and the water is so still, like while you sit there and your feet are in the water, you realize how perfect this is, how it when you first look at it, it's quite wild and woolly, but actually there's a real perfection to it because you look up towards them, you know, the homestead is on its own tiny little flat island, but you look towards the rest of the island, and it protects. It's like the island sort of hugs the homestead island in this little bay and keeps the wind away from it and keeps the water calm and keeps the water warm because it's so shallow, so that it's really gorgeous. And
I think I think Elle is like hat on, shirt off, shoes off, like trousers rolled up a bit, just kind of like in the water, like fully just like getting soaked with Jax. And I think he's going to cast Speak with Animals on himself, because that's apparently how that spell works.
Are you ready, Lydia?
I did pre-warn Lydia, mind, so she had time to make creative choices.
I would have loved to see Lydia scramble though.
And
it's just simply no.
and I think he's going to go, well, Bird, I told you we found something that suits your proclivities a bit better.
One moment.
Jax just puts one claw up. One moment.
This is Lydia going, I'm not ready.
I'm excited. I'm excited. What accent do we think Jax is gonna have?
It's a Jackson, but please.
Please let him be Lumiere from Beauty and the Beast, is all I'm saying.
Yes. Let him be French.
Voice the crab.
There is a second where you see him shift and turn and look in understanding for the first time. And it's almost like the whole of the body, like chitinous shell bit, just tilts in kind of questioning. And then you just hear from him, Paul? Paul? Are you talking to me, Paul?
Is he calling him Paul?
He's saying pal. I hope. Oh.
Out from the mouth of crabs.
Paul?
So sorry, Lydia. Can Lydia tell Nikki, because Nikki is hearing disabled, sort of specifically what we just said there.
Word that he is calling you, it would be spelled P-A-A-L.
Oh.
Pal?
Paul.
Paul?
Paul?
It's Paul. You keep saying Paul.
Paul?
I've lost my shit.
Well, Bud.
Paul is my dad's name, and it's just so funny that Nikki's now playing my dad.
You okay, Bud? You look a bit... What's this Paul?
You... Wait. You're... Paul?
You saying pal?
No. I... didn't know what your name was, and I did not know whether you were my pa or my pal. So I called you Paul in my head as the secret for so long.
I might cry.
So to clarify, Lydia, he called me Paul because he didn't know what my name was and he wasn't sure if I was his father or his friend.
Yeah, so he just smushed them together.
Pal and pa.
Pa and pal. Pa.
Well now, Bud, so...
We can talk now?
It's like sometimes, like, I can make it... It's new. I'll give you that. This island's all sorts of freaky.
Do you remember when you found me?
In the
Do
little...
you remember when you found me, Paul?
Now, just... I of course I remember. I found you in that little trap. You were just a little thing. Folks call me L or Elrond, but L will do. Like L's what friends call me.
Okay, Paul. So, do you remember when we went on the river, and you fell asleep on my back and I was swimming, Paul? Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember.
I was so tired, Paul, because you were asleep and I was swimming the whole time. But do you remember?
I remember. I appreciate that.
I was so happy, Paul.
Fuck. Do I have to put him down?
Yeah, I was about to say. Can I pet the rabbits, George?
I remember. That's one of my fondest memories.
Sure, Jack.
Is this our home now?
I mean, for a while, I like to travel. How do you find moving about so much?
I like it. This place is nice, though.
Well, we'll see how we get on. Maybe in a year's time we can kind of see if there's more sites or if we like it here, we can stay. Like
Wherever you go, I go.
He's gonna die. And I'll be so sad.
Well, I've always called you Jax. It's just, it's just kind of like a fun name I gave you. Do you have any other name? I suppose
What
not.
does
Since I found you when you was
mean?
little.
Does it mean friend or son?
We're friends, pal. Like, I ain't your dad.
Okay, I don't really know what a father is, but I would not be alive if it wasn't for you.
You're like a brother to me, pal. Like,
brother.
yeah.
Brother.
We're family, but like not in a like you're not my child kind of way, but in a we're bonded.
Okay. I like it here, and I like that we have friends here. I don't have any crab friends. They don't like me.
No, I know. I suppose you're sort of like a you and I are kind of the same. We kind of left our kind to do their thing, and we can just kind of stay together. I'm reckon there's a lot of elves that do not like me, so it's just the two of us.
Crabs say I'm too big.
Yeah, you're a big fella.
I'm big.
Oh my god.
I never really knew why I was so big, but I like it. I'm useful to Paul.
My mom would say that you're so big because you got a big heart, and they need to keep it.
I like that.
Hey, maybe we can get this hair out of my mouth. maybe we can rustle you up some fish. How does that sound?
I can go and get fish.
No,
or you can get the fish.
You relax. I'll do a little bit of fishing. You relax in the shallows.
I'm gonna make a pile of stones, Paul. Okay.
It's Al. It's Just Al.
Okay.
It's fine. Like, I appreciate that maybe you've had that name in your mind for a while, and like, I ain't gonna hold it against you if you get it wrong. But most people call me Al, especially my friends, and you're one of my friends.
Okay.
Now I'm gonna do some fishing. You do whatever it is that tickles that little crab belly of yours.
He skitters off and starts picking up stones.
This feels like Lydia watched a documentary on crab behavior because I keep making that comment about everything's a cat. Lydia, can I do a spot of fishing?
You can roll, add your proficiency. You've got the tools.
Absolutely, fuck you, Lydia. Honestly, like, there I was going, okay, yeah, I know Jax's fan favorite, but there's room for all of the rest of us. And then you go and give
not anymore.
Make him fucking Lenny. You make him fucking Lenny, and we all just have to love him unconditionally now.
Accent videos were watched, people.
Thank you so much, Lydia. Now we're all going to be as upset as Nicky will be when he eventually and inevitably dies.
We're all right. Oh, God. You had me crying.
Lydia?
Yeah.
So, I'm going to read some things, and then I'm going to tell you what I rolled on the dice. And I will specify that it's the dice that chat encouraged me to recolor. The green and white color scheme has come in handy.
Have you just pulled in a whole school of fish?
Lydia? You get an advantage on ability checks, so a survival check to fish, made using fishing tackle, which I have and do. If you have access to a body of water that sustains marine life, which I am in, you can maintain a moderate lifestyle working as a fisher. That doesn't really apply. And you can catch enough food to feed yourself and up to 10 other people a day. Now, that's just a thing I could do. Yeah. Sustainably, mind. Like, it's not to... I rolled a natural 20 for a total of 27.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I love that. I love that.
So could I use the new net I've just got?
Yeah.
And get like instead of like a shit ton of small fish, like a few big fish and some small fish, like to feed 10 people in my head was more like two like big fish, like 4 big fish or something, not 10
I'm
fucking...
going to say this because Elle has such a good understanding of these things. As you have been paddling in the water in the bay, you do realize that it's not a huge coral reef, but it is that kind of seabed in the bay. And so seeing as you have the time there, you can find a spot where you can push out onto other sides where you can get fish that, frankly, less colorful fish, bigger fish that are better for you to eat.
Yeah.
And you have a great, essentially your late afternoon, early evening is spent catching a lot. I'm going to say that you catch a couple of simply can't think of any ocean fish that are appropriate size. And then you get one big kind of, not really a tuna, but like a kind of big size.
I was thinking tuna, but then tunas are fucking massive.
Yeah.
Like a tuna weighs more than I do.
And, a few tilapia and like a barracuda.
Yeah. Barracuda, yeah.
Then I think the two of them will go back to the house, move the stuff that needs to be indoors, and leave a little note for Cece to say, come up to the lighthouse. And I think the two of them are going to take the fish, some sticks, and some up to the lighthouse with the idea that we're all going to have like a fish,
fish dinner.
Yeah, we're going to fish. And then sort of like Jax is going to carry in like a crate all the fish. And I'm going to use the yikawa that my mother made. No, that's not canon anymore. Ignore that. Forget that.
Oh.
Nothing said. The yikawa that I made. Yeah, like the yikawa that I made to scale and gut the fish after sterilizing it within the flames, because if there's one thing that Elle knows, it's fish. But basically when we get up there, I'm gonna kind of knock for Mav.
I'm going to say this just because it's been skirted over a little bit, but you managed to do all of that and you've had a great day, and in true elf fashion, you've not stepped foot in the house yet. You don't need to. Everything has just been you found bits and pieces from some of the outhouses. You did find, one of the things you did find as you were looking to try and find bits of tools and stuff that you could sit on is a little smokehouse. That already has fish hanging in it from the last time somebody did some smoking in there. So that is it's sort of been more recently built onto the side of the dwelling.
Given Elle's fishing ability, that will go in handy tremendously. But I honestly think Elle's current thought is not for the future, but just for the... we're all going to eat a lot of really good fresh cooked fish today, the four of us.
Okay, so as you go to the door, we're going to shift back to Cece, who is still trudging, goodness knows in what direction, on the West Island.
Yeah.
The day is moving on and your body hurts. Can you give me a survival check? No, wait. Let me get to the right area.
What the fucking fun?
What the fucking fun? You are walking and walking and walking, and as you put your foot down, you feel something round your ankle, and then you are yanked from the ground, and it is painful at first because you're holding a crate and it lands on you as your leg is yanked up, and then you are pulled up into the tree by your foot, and the crate is on the ground below, and you are hanging upside down.
I think she takes a second to just sort of enjoy not having to be carrying anything and to not be standing. She's
look for the bare necessities.
Just kind of gonna sway there for a second. Oh. Shit. And she'll summon her sword.
Yeah.
And take a look around and look up at... She's thinking, oh, I need to cut myself down, but does it look like it's going to be a really hard fall, like a long way?
I mean, yeah, it's gonna be. You're gonna need to. I mean, Michelle would understand. She's gonna need to do a dexterity saving throw. Cece's like, this is gonna be hard.
This is gonna suck. Okay.
So you cut through.
Yeah. She cuts through.
You cut through with your wet blade, and as two things happen at once. As you cut through, you hear this really loud chiming of bells above the tree line, and you come falling down. Can you make a dexterity saving throw for me, please?
Yes, I can. I'm not rolling that dice anymore. Keeps rolling bad.
What you should all do is have a dice that you made on stream, which is apparently just it.
And,
I love this dice.
I have an Eisodos 20.
Ooh, that saves you brilliantly. That little tiny upside down rest, getting the blood back to your head, like freshened you up. And as you fell, you tucked and dropped. And it's not cool because you are on your hands and knees, but you do not take any damage. And you are there next to your crate that you dropped, hearing this like these bells chime through the canopy.
Okay. Cece's not used to this stuff. Like I literally made Cece to be absolutely useless in this environment. So she's just like, if this is your doorbell, it's not very good. I'm just trying to bring you your stuff. It's been such a long day. Please, can you just help? And she just looks at the box, like thinking about, like, I need to pick it up and just keep moving. Otherwise, I might just stop and die here.
You pick the box up and you move forward. Give me a perception check as you move forward, and now you have this like understanding that there's things in the woods.
There's things in the woods.
14.
You keep walking for a little bit, and there is a second when you're walking and you're like, okay, I think I'm over the worst of it now, and you feel something around your ankle again. Only this time you stop like dead still, and you just hear, and you're like, okay, I don't feel anything. It's fine. It's fine. And then you just see these darts in the back of your shoulder, and you look down and you have pushed your foot onto a tripwire.
Oh, God damn it.
You now have the poison condition as the world gets very like dizzy, and you immediately feel sweat running down your chest and in your armpits and down your back. You are sweating profusely and you are really dizzy. Okay. But you trudge on. I don't know, maybe you stop and give up.
No, I just stop. I stop playing. I'm gonna go.
DC's got like Surge vibes that Surge is just always taking.
Yeah.
Lydia hates
she hasn't
wet
shat herself yet.
Lydia hates wet characters. She just hates them.
Yeah, she does. Yeah, Cece's gonna just like compose herself a little bit. Just like, okay, you can't stop now, otherwise it's all for nothing. You have to keep going. And she just slowly starts taking one step in front of the other. And again, she's just like, you guys, I understand the trap system, but like, aren't you expecting us? What do you do? Like, this is quite frankly, a little rude. I'll forgive you if you just come help. And yeah, she just keeps walking, sort of muttering to herself, trying not to vom.
You keep walking for a little bit, and because your passive perception is quite low,
Yep.
you don't realize until, and you're also like the world is spinning, and you're now like walking with this cadence of like, just do another step, another step. And then suddenly you realize that there is this huge area that's been cut away from the, that's like, just to call it a glade isn't right, because there is just fields of produce out in front of you, rows and rows of tomato plants, wheat, the like green shooting plants that could be onions or leeks. There are cabbages, pumpkins. Can you roll me a nature check, please?
I can. Come on. You're not terrible. You are one above average. 17.
You're like, damn, this is a lot. For a second, you kind of assume, oh yeah, this must be what, there must be loads of people tending this much land.
Oh my god.
And you see right in the middle of all of this plowed land, this like rows of different produce and vegetables and stuff, a stone cottage riddled with that same grey vine that you saw on the temple earlier on, and a tidy yellow thatched roof with a chimney that has little puffs of bright white smoke coming out of the top of it.
Oh my goodness. Cece like picks up the pace a little bit. She's like, oh, you guys, I can't believe you're all inside. I've been yelling for your help. And like she just like walks up to the front door and knocks on it. Delivery.
And the door is open, and as you like look inside, there's a tiny little cottage. You can see a hearth. You can see quite a kind of comfortable chair, and you see an elderly woman sitting in the chair looking at you with a knife in her hand that she's sharpening on the underside of a mug, smiling at you.
Hi, I'm Cece. I pop the box down. Pleasure to meet you, and I put my hand out.
She steps up and goes, "Ha! You found me then. It's a bit late, isn't it?" And she reaches, she ignores the hand that you've put out towards her, and she starts putting her hands up, like looking at you.
Oh.
And she goes, "Which one are you then?"
Which one am I? I'm Cecilia. Everyone calls me Cece.
Her long bony fingers find your face and just touch them all over, and you feel the ends of her fingers like going into your mouth.
No, can you not? Oh, you're gonna.
And she like pulls at your eyelid and like pulls at your ear, and she then like begins to giggle at you, and
why are you laughing at me?
You look moist. Would you like to
Fucking rude.
drink some tea and cool down?
Oh, thank you. That would be so lovely. You can just maybe tell the others to go get the stuff. Oh, we can have a nice chat.
No. She like shuffles off towards the hearth, and you plainly see her put like a pot over the very, like the hearth is barely lit, it's just some embers. And even to your mind that is not used to domestic chores, you just think that's not going to warm that. And then she just starts putting things in the pot, like stones and earth and bark and grit, and sort of bits of tree. And then she
crazy.
turns back and goes, are you all about then?
Sorry, what did you say?
What are you all about then?
What a wild fucking
What's
question.
your whole thing?
What am I all about?
Sit down. You're going to have to carry a lot of crates, so you should sit down for a second.
Okay. Cece just sits down, sort of gingerly.
The mug that she was sharpening her knife on, she just dips it in the bowl that's been over the embers for about 30 seconds and hands it to you. You just see bits of like dirt floating in the top of this water.
Oh. Thank you.
What are you all about?
What? Oh, I don't really know where to begin. Well, I'm Lady Cecilia Archivea, but everyone... Why are you laughing at that?
Fucking Michael Jackson.
Why is that funny?
You're a lady.
Yeah, I am a lady. Is that okay with you?
She sort of sits there and listens to you for a little while. She just occasionally shifts this like this headpiece that is essentially twigs that started off just being pushed into her hair and slowly gained momentum into this like whirlpool nest twig feather situation, and occasionally she just like pushes at it like she's wearing some sort of crown and listens.
Yeah, I'm a lady, I sort of, what am I about?
Not about this.
Yeah, I'm not about this. I'm just gonna pop down the drink. Thank you. I don't know, it feels like a heavy question for someone I just met. What about you? What are you about? What's your name?
I'm Elska.
Elska?
Elska Himmelskö.
Alright. Elska Hemsworth is what I heard?
That would do.
I'm sorry. But you don't have... No, I'm not gonna... Okay, Elska, pleasure to meet you. And Cece's just been like looking around like there must be other people, right?
I live here. I have lived here a long time. I tend to the temple. Did you see the temple on the way?
I did see the temple. It's a beautiful temple, I have to say.
It's my temple.
Oh, and who's it a temple to?
You may go in it. You may go in it, but it's my temple.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any, like, rules, like, not at certain times?
There are no rules. Tirsch.
Excuse you?
Oh, I remember. You funny people always finding it so rude when I say Tirsch.
Yeah.
You don't worship Tirsch?
No, I can't say I do.
You might have got here a bit quicker if you had.
I mean, maybe. I mean, Tesh, sent a horrid storm and stuff, and I nearly died in it.
Yeah.
Not funny. I nearly died.
Yeah. He tried to take you. He didn't get you, did he?
No, he didn't get me because someone saved me, but, like, lots of people died.
Yeah. This is his way.
Okay.
He might get you yet. You never know. This is his way. You don't know how many times that nice person might save you. How do you like your drink? She points to the mug.
Cece doesn't want to drink it, but she also knows how incredibly rude it is to, like, not drink a drink when it's given to you, but she's just used to, like, really nice teas and wines.
Elska just stops talking and watches you, and her mouth, like, breaks into this big smile, and you just see she has 2 teeth that meet just off center in her mouth, and the rest is very gummy.
Oh, no. Can I...
How? How has that happened?
Oh.
How?
Taj took them. Can I... Cece's read... I'm sure Mav wrote a book about witches or something who make things that look weird.
The witches were far sexier in Mav's book.
Yeah,
and
they were so
had
much
a full
sexier.
set of teeth.
Full set of teeth.
Mav would be so offended if he thought that you assumed he would write books about someone like Elska.
Listen, let me just tell you very quickly. Mav has only written one book about witches, and it scared the bejesus out of him, let alone anyone else. He will never ever write another book about witches.
Witches
they
are
are
no joke.
they are the most terrifying beings in the world.
It's not even a scary book. It's about having sex with an entire coven. Like it's more of like a polyamory thing, but it's spooked
Still
Mav.
spooky. All right. Oh
Spooky
god, in that
polyamory.
case.
It's all we can aspire to, honestly.
Horror.
If she just takes like the tiniest bit so she can taste it.
Yeah, I mean, it's cold, dirty water.
Sick. Fucking.
It is exactly what you assumed it would be. It's cold, dirty water. There's nothing special about it whatsoever.
Love that. Love that for Cece.
So
You roll me a performance check.
so delicious. Am I still poisoned?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. Why would anything go right? Hey,
Sort of, I'd say you're maybe 40 minutes into your hour of poisoning.
What am I doing performance? Oh, one was a nat 20, but that's a 15.
Okay. Yeah, you are. This is your whole shit. You're very good at eating somebody's dinner and letting them feel like they have hosted a dinner really well.
Yeah.
And you just see her. You're like, and you just see a real twinkle in her eye that, like, she's got these heavily cold eyes where she's clearly just put her fingers in ash and rubbed it like this. You see this like twinkle in her like cloudy eyes, and she sort of looks at you, and she looks. She's got a very penetrating look. She just seems to be really eyeing you up and down. When will the rest of my stuff come?
When I'm too scared to ask this question. Do you live here on this West Island on your own?
Yes.
Yeah. Then
I'm just a little old lady, so I can't carry.
yep, just a little old lady, definitely not a witch.
She abruptly stands up and takes a staff that had been leaning against the wall and just starts tapping your feet.
Oh,
while you're
what?
sitting on the chair. Go on. Go on. Go on.
Okay, I'm going. I'll go get your stuff. Can you
She
wait?
starts like herding you out of the house.
Cece's like leaving, but she's going. She's like, can you take down the traps and everything?
No. See you soon. I will put on more tea.
Susie just starts crying.
You step through in amongst these sown fields again, ripe tomatoes, like plump rhubarb blossoming out of the ground, and you go back into the woodland. And through, and I'm gonna go ahead and say, by the time you get back to the beach, your poisoned effect is gone, and it takes you a couple of hours. You kind of, you know what? Roll me a survival check, because you could save some time if you worked out a less roundabout route.
Yeah, I'm just wondering.
Like the mist has really lifted; it's much easier. It is a clear, bright day.
Mabs had a sad afternoon, Cece's having a bad afternoon, and Elle had a glad afternoon. It was...
It's
The
never
sad
that.
rags and the glad rags and the mad lags and the mad lags.
And the mad lads, woo!
Sorry, survival. 13.
Yeah, you shave off a little bit of time. You kind of you do see that you were walking a path before that was like trodden down, but you were holding a box, so you
Couldn't see. Yeah.
down, and you you quickly kind of work out on your way back that there's a split in the path, which would essentially you'd gone on a big circle that made you like hit the
Temple?
the temple, and if you went this way you would bypass like the temple and go straight back to the beach area, so you save a bit of time, but it is, you know, it's hours of hard work, and you reek by the end of it from all the poisoning and then just the hard work and backwards and forwards, and pretty much every time you put a crate down, she gets at your ankles with her staff to kind of go like there's no rest.
So rude.
But the hours pass, and when you finish, she hands you a mug. And when you hold it, you think, oh, God, fucking drink her tea again. And you look in it, and actually it's this pale, cold, like the mug is cold to touch, and it's sort of I don't know how to like not fully opaque but pale colored liquid. You drink it?
Cece just does, like, has that little think to herself, like, is this poison? One way to find out, and she'll take a sip.
You take a sip, and it is the sweetest nectar that you have ever drunk. No wine is better than what you're drinking right now. It tastes like peaches and honey, and it has a little edge of like coconut milk to it, and it is, more importantly, cold, which you know all too well is not easy to do.
Yeah.
And she hands it to you, watches you drink it, and then walks away and goes, you drank that silly water before.
I was being polite. I'm a lady after all. I yell
Now
after
away
her.
with you. Go away.
Oh, all right. Do I get to drink the rest of it?
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
okay. So she downs it. Or runs away with it, yeah. Oh, God. And then... yeah, she'll just...
Row back, and by the time you get to the boat and start like turning it around and pushing it back out, you can see the other island, and you realize you actually rode too far north. Like you
Like I went
could have hit
diagonally.
the island much sooner, but you kind of pushed too far north, which is one of the reasons why you hurt so badly, because you were pushing kind of against like the tide a little bit. Like you just worked way too hard, went too far, and when you're rowing back, because you can see where you're going, I won't make you roll, it takes you more like, you know, a little over 15 minutes of hard rowing, and you get that little rush of adrenaline because you know Homestead is in sight.
Yeah.
You walk up that hill, down the hill, over the road bridge. You get into the homestead, and then there's no one there, but there's a note saying, "We're not here. Go to the lighthouse."
She just a single tear.
And I think we'll pick up at the of L at the door to the lighthouse cottage.
Immediately drops the illusion. Come in.
Hey, bud. How y'all doing? I kind of had myself an afternoon. I thought maybe I left a note for Cece to come join us. I thought maybe y'all could do with some sustenance.
I mean, I would certainly not say no. What do you have? Some form of breads, meats, buns?
I have fish. I figured we could do the a la carte thing you like so much.
Oh wow. Very well.
Well, I'll get to working on the campfire, or maybe.
Don't worry.
How are you?
I've already sorted it. Just over there in the corner.
Oh no, I was thinking maybe outside.
When you look at the fire that he's made, the flame is pretty good, but there is a single log that has been going for a long time, and is mostly charcoal at this point. So he knows fire, but he doesn't know how to stock a good hearth.
Yeah. Mav is looking at you, very, very proud of himself. Like, oh, I've already sorted it.
Now, that is excellent for warming a room, but y'all want that fish smell inside?
No, you're quite right.
How about we cook
yes.
it outside by a campfire?
Perhaps that's best. Yes. Right. What can I do?
Well, maybe you can gather together a little bit of wood and set a fire. I got some scaling and some gutting to do.
Yes. Right. Okay.
I figured, given your sensibilities, you wouldn't like to do that part.
No. I would really prefer not to. Thank you ever so much. I'm going to look for some wood. Thank you. Can I look for wood?
You can. As you step out, try your hardest to ignore the bodies that still litter.
Well, can we find somewhere that's not an immediate eye shot of the bodies? And if not, Jax will move the bodies away.
I mean, when you're just outside the cottage, you can't see the bodies because that's sort of round the far side of the lighthouse. But if you're going to go start looking for wood, it's not a huge island that the lighthouse is on, so you've got to kind of step around them. So you can get Jax to move them away from that island, possibly, if you wanted to. But let's have Mav roll and invest in a survival check to get wood.
Yep. As Mav is kind of looking, when he's sort of close enough. Okay, that's an 18 minus 2, so 16. He's kind of shouting at towards the lighthouse, kind of. So I've found some information about the lighthouse. There seems to be some form of cocktail of magics that are in place to keep it going as it does. They really do rather sort of encapsulate everything, really, from illusion to abjuration to divine and shadow sorcery. And I just sort of keep parroting the stuff that.
Oh yeah, that sounds. I mean, it sounds like good work, bud.
I think Mav is genuinely quite kind of proud of that.
And it's genuine. Ella's basically heard all that and gone, I mean, I'm trying, but that is like a breeze through a forest. It is coming out the other side, no matter how dense it is in there. It's just.
Well, darling, perhaps I can teach you something sometime. And hey, perhaps you could teach me something.
You want you want dry logs. You don't want none of the wet stuff.
Not.
No, that is still green. That is gonna smoke.
Just got grass. I just assumed that we put things on and it. No.
No, you want to start dry.
Right. Well, this is all out in the open. How is it going to be dry?
I mean, we can make it dry, like.
With your I completely forgot to tell you about your thing. You picked up a bunch of green stuff and wet stuff, and it's only really when you come back and he sort of essentially tells you to try again that you go and you find a lot of really nicely dried out, like essentially driftwood. It's been really bleached, and one really long bit that was maybe a fallen sapling that has dried itself up, and you find a way of breaking bits off it, and you come back with an armful of dried dead tree, essentially, enough to start the fire.
Great, perfect. Now, if you want to kind of like tent that and start heating, and then we need bigger sticks to rest these fish on. I'll just hold up like the really big one.
Oh,
Cece, you're stepping over the rope bridge, and you see flies circling dead bodies, and the boys just like negotiate. Like, you can't see Elle because he's nearer the other side of the lighthouse where the thing is, but you see Mav looking so pleased with himself with an armful of twigs, and you can just hear Elle's voice through the bushes.
I tell you what, this is somewhat like seeing how the sausage is made, so to speak.
Well, we can.
I would rather prefer to just deal with it when it's ready to be eaten, if that's okay.
Lids, I'm gonna basically spatchcock the big fish and then make like a spit to kind of keep moving. But the little ones I'm gonna put on sticks and jam them over. But as I'm skinning like descaling the fish and like taking off the heads and stuff, like I'm gonna do a lot of stuff that I wouldn't normally do, like take off the heads and do all that stuff, because these guys will. And then I think I'm just like, hey y'all, I know a little halfling fishing song if you want to, or fish cooking song, fish prepping song that I kind of used to sing whenever.
Hey, sounds wonderful.
Cease.
Oh, Cece, hello.
Y'all good?
Cece is drenched with sweat.
Yeah, and her hair's like out here. It's like twigs and all sorts in it. She's still
Her bandana's like skew whiff.
Yeah, bandana's half
my
off.
My darling, you have come. Thankfully, our good friend Jax has bought my makeup bag with me. Come.
It's too late for makeup.
No. It's never, darling. It's never too late for makeup. Come.
You look hungry. I got a lot of fish.
Nikki, I won't make you roll for any of that fish stuff, because I'm not going to make you roll for it, because that's regular stuff that you've done your whole life.
It's
like
shit.
rolling for making toast. I'm not going to make you do it.
Elle, I will just ready our compatriot, and then we will be right out. And I think I bring
Jax is rotating the spit.
I bring Cece into the sort of house and kind of like properly like fuss. Bring the sort of like the bits and pieces out and start and all the while kind of casting prestidigitation to kind of do it at the same time.
You feel that magic lifting the sweat away, and not only that, but the feeling of his soft makeup brushes against your face is like a little massage. It is so soothing. What a guy! That's so kind.
I keep the door open and kind of like to keep the others involved and kind of whilst I'm and whatnot like so. Darling, tell me everything that happened with your.
Sort of remembering what's just happened, and after, she's a bit lost in like just enjoying what's happening, but she grabs like Mav by the face, Like,
I just got a real thing that Mav would just immediately slap her hand out of instinct.
Mav, I think she's a witch. She's so mean, but she's also nice, but she's so mean.
Grab your hands and go,
She made me drink dirty water.
slow down.
A true Maverick nightmare.
Did you say witch?
I mean, I haven't actually ever met like an actual witch.
No, don't say their names. They know where you are. Oh, goodness. Oh, no. We have to fortify ourselves. We have to fortify ourselves right now. This is bad. This is bad.
Also, there's nobody else on that island. It's just us 4. Sorry, Jax. And her.
Well, of course there's no one else. She ate everyone else.
This is what they
happens.
do? Oh, I honestly just skipped to the sexy bits in that one, so I don't actually know what's so bad about them, but...
This is,
What CC did, like...
yeah, which is the bad, whatever, get to the good
There's not
stuff.
enough boobs in this one.
Where's
Yeah.
the bloody sex? I want the bloody titties. T-shirt when? I
want the bloody titties.
Where's the bloody titties?
Oh, God.
I think there's a moment where he kind of calms himself down and sort of the internal monologue going, no, this is Cece's moment. We will deal with the catastrophe that is witches later and kind of
Also, she worships, I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it, Tersh.
Oh, hell, come on. That's not...
It's true, she does.
Now, are you just saying that because you don't like her?
No, there's a temple there and everything.
Feels
I'm
like
going
a
to
lot.
take a quick moment to fill in the audience, to the viewers, because Tish is the god of... these guys wouldn't need to roll a religion check because it's a very, very well-known god. It is the god of storms, but because it is the kind of destructive, chaotic god of storms, it has also become a swear word because of the amount of ships that are lost to storms. So it has become this kind of curse word, real, like, spicy curse word.
Spicy curse word. Yeah. Yeah, she worships. Yeah.
well, that I don't think that's. I think we have found our adversary.
You what? No,
Yes,
no.
Don't you see? There are witches abound.
Well, she said one, and she actually wasn't all that sure, so...
Oh, when there's one, there's plenty more.
Nope, it was just I know because I kept having to walk back and forth to her little cottage.
Oh.
Also, maybe she isn't. Look. Maybe I'm just not used to I'm not exactly used to this style of life, and that's rude of me. Just because she's a little old lady doesn't mean she's a witch. I think she's just mean. Maybe a witch with a B, am I right?
An apiary witch? Oh, this just gets worse and worse.
I don't know. I'm so tired though. I feel
New subclass.
I don't know. Tell me everything's going good this side of the island though.
I had a really good day.
Oh,
I
yeah.
caught all these fish,
Oh,
and I hung out. I moved all the boxes, no problem. Me and Jax, we did that, and then me and Jax had a conversation for the first time in a good few years.
oh wow.
And it was surprising.
What do you
but-
mean? You haven't spoken to him before?
Well, it's sort of I don't know if it's this place,
I've seen
but I
you
feel
speak to him.
Yeah, but that's more like the same way that you would maybe speak to a cat or something. I had a.
He stops turning as soon as you say cat.
I'm gonna cast speak with animals on myself, so that they all hear the crab chittering coming out of my mouth as I speak to speak to Jackson. Say, hey bud, you cool to just kind of slow? We want it nice, slow, even.
I'll go slower. No problem. I'll go slower.
I'm gonna give
Like
you a
this. Slower.
perfect.
I put my hand on Cece's shoulder and go, we've lost him.
She got to him.
I think Elle's gonna go back to like singing and kind of like turning fish and like prepping.
Oh, I'm sorry. For the next 10 minutes, you will not go back to singing. Tom, do you remember that time when we were in the village? And you thought that you would and then the guy died and you were like, oh no, I've been here so long I didn't even realize, and we had to move on to a different, and then do you remember
Have you ever had that dream when you...
for 10 minutes, and then it just snaps out and you just go back to hearing like the kind of grinding sound in his stomach.
I will indulge it. Every time you ask me if I remember, I will nod along and be like, yeah, I do remember. I remember because y'all helped me carry my stuff, and I think that was very kind of you.
I like that so much. That was fun.
Yeah, I think he's gonna go like finishing up the fish and singing, and just try and get everyone back out to around the fire.
I think in those sort of 10 minutes, I will kind of go back to doing makeup, and the more I kind of Lydia,
Thomas,
can I roll a history check, please?
Yeah, of course you can. In regards to what?
Well,
The face he's holding so deftly in his hands.
Oh
So-
yeah, of course.
I rolled a 14. As I start to paint the face of this person in front of me in the way of the kind of court at home, with a 14, do I...
You absolutely do. It takes you no time at all. You're sort of, you are putting rouge on over that now slightly pearlescent skin, and you are transported back to a palace season many years ago, and you look right at her and you know this was the diamond of the season, the one that took the palace by storm. She was no one, and then she was it.
Well. You know, my dear, I believe I recognize you. Diamond of the season.
All right.
Could it...
Yeah. Not like you can go tell anyone now, though, is it?
Well, quite. And who would I tell, even if I could? I just think it's quite interesting. What in the devil brings you to a place like this?
And she starts fiddling with her locket. I just wanted a little adventure, you know.
Right. Actively not gonna insight that.
But the two things come to you: the name Arcavia,
Mm-hmm.
and the gossip that was that season, and then the realization hits you like a truck, hits you like a carriage going full speed. That this was a point of inspiration for you once upon a time.
I well, I simply ask because perhaps there could be a sequel to a certain.
Look, Mav, I'm a big fan of your books. I think they're wonderful. And although you got a lot of it wrong, the story you told of me and Alessandra was beautiful. I don't think this one's worth writing about.
I beg to differ. I mean, the what do I? Sorry, just very quickly. What do I know of Archivea?
Alessandra Archivea, the great war hero and important noble woman, lives. You know what? With the 14, you're not quite sure where her actual land, her estate is, but she is very important to the emperor, and she spends a lot of time at the palace. She is a mover and a shaker in the Iridian Empire. She is an elf, and is an extremely impressive woman.
Please.
That's what you know of her.
Hardly something to write about. The debutante Diamond now has a cut of her own. Come now. It practically sells itself. I'll tell you what. I will do you a cut of my own. 20% of all sales.
I don't know. I don't even know if this is something worth writing about, because Mav, let me ask you. And I'm asking you this not because I don't think you know, because obviously you know, we both know, but in all of your books, what happens at the end?
Well, after lots and lots and lots of fucking, there is a happily ever after.
Yeah. That, that happy ever after, how long does that last?
Well, that's the end, darling. It's the point of the book.
Yeah.
There's a happy ever after, then it finishes, and they go back to the next book or the next shelf or the next adventure.
Yeah. But sometimes that happy ever after is one of them just stuck in a house all the time, waiting for the other one.
I think Mav, though not a wise man, kind of has this good sense to go a little bit more rouge on the cheeks, a little sort of like tilt your head up to the sky and goes, well, the story's only ever finished once the book closes, darling.
Yeah. Look, I'm not saying. Look, I still love her. I do, and I sort of got a bit wrapped up in a bit of a whirlwind. I'm not. I'm still married to her. I still love her. I had to do something. I couldn't keep waiting months and months and sometimes years for her to come home. So I thought, well, I'll go do, maybe I can go do something. And now I'm here, and she doesn't know where I am because I didn't tell her, because I didn't know how to tell her, so I just left. And now I'm here. And it's been such a long day. I've been poisoned. And did I say I had to drink the dirty water and my arms ache?
Oh, come. And I think sort of do that full on drag mother kind of come on and sort of give you a big hug and look over at Elle and go like some sort of patting your head. I go, Akavir doesn't know she's here. Akavir may be coming. This is not a drill. Kind of yes. You are in danger. Serious danger. And kind of yeah.
Cece's fully like just like not like loud bawling, but just like sobbing into your shoulder.
Hey, why don't y'all come get something to eat? It's about serving time.
Okay, how's my makeup look?
Peachy.
Now two hands on either side of the cheeks, prestidigitation, just fine, darling.
Oh, thank you.
Now everyone grab a leaf and take a seat.
I'm sorry, what?
I don't want to eat a leaf.
No, we're not eating the leaves. It's like it's what you eat off.
There's no plates?
I mean, maybe, but like, why bother? We're out. Hey, remember when y'all was like garden party and like a la carte? Like this is what I was talking about.
Okay, yeah.
And now y'all, this is a little something we did when I spent maybe a little too long at that halfling village. So I'm gonna need you to repeat, like, sing along with me as I'm dishing up. Yeah, it's like a fun, like, it's a community thing, right? So.
Right.
Big chest, and it's we make a wish, wish, wish for plenty of fish, 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 to fill our dish, at the end of the day. And faster once again. Oh. And we make a wish, wish, wish for plenty of fish, fish, to fill our dish, at the end of the day. One more time, much faster. And we make a wish for all the fish, to fill our dish, at the end of the day. And with bellies full and a smile on her face, we lie in the grass, thank God for this grace. And now we can eat.
Oh, yay.
Damn inspiration for making a halfling song. I love that.
Yes.
And you sing and eat and ignore the corpses, even though the flies. But
guys, I cannot stress how much so much food this is. This is food for. This is more than food for 10 people.
This is so much.
Oh.
Incredible. And you sit there and eat and sing and you look out. Unless you are actively avoiding looking out into the ocean, you look out and the sky is beginning to pink and the waves are glittering with the pink light of the setting sun. It's beginning to edge into evening now. Nighttime.
Well, this has been lovely, and I truly mean that, Elle. Thank you so much for
thank you so much.
feeding us. I am very aware that there is a witch around.
I don't think... isn't it like they can't cross water, so I think we're fine on this island.
Are you thinking about forest fires?
Oh.
Wow, these guys have got so much bonding to do before they can even have a normal conversation with each other.
No, I think she's right. If it makes you shiver, it can't get over the river.
Yeah. I did shiver a little. It might have been like...
Now that doesn't... What about a cold breeze?
If it makes you scream, run over a stream.
What's your wisdom score again?
Wisdom is a 7 in fairness.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Perhaps you're right. Although if the witch does eat all of our livers tonight, I will make you eat your hat.
I ate a lot of fish, so that's gonna be some kind of. I did once have a hat made of reeds, but Jax ate that.
You look over and Jax is just pushing more of the fish.
Jax is eating, I think, 5 people's worth of fish, and between the three of us,
bones and fins and all.
yeah, we're eating 5 people's worth of fish between the 3 of us. Jax is eating the rest of the 5 people's worth of fish.
Right.
There is seemingly a single bunk in the lighthouse. Thankfully, during my research today, I did realize that the pulsing, the purple pulsing. If the lighthouse is damaged, that is almost a fail-safe source that will continue for about 30 minutes before it.
Oh, okay, so like we ain't confined to that building as long as we're sort of within 30 minutes of it.
Right.
Yes.
Elle, because you have your, sorry to interrupt, because of the wisdom that Elle has, why don't you roll me a quick survival? Because who knows, he might.
Fucking gladly. 16 plus 7, so 23.
Cool. As the person who's done the most amount of walking around the island thus far, like you did so much backwards and forwards and so on, you know that you will be able to see not necessarily the lighthouse, but the light, from the lighthouse from the homestead. And if you sprinted from the homestead to the lighthouse, you could just about make it in half an hour. But you couldn't do it if you were from one of the other islands, essentially. So,
whilst we can actually all be at the home, just as long as somebody's like on call, basically.
Yes, and it would need to be like a real sprint. You couldn't dawdle on your way there.
Well, why don't we head back now? Before we go, I'm fixing to get rid of all these bodies that are just kind of lying around.
I'm glad you brought it up. Honestly.
Now, given y'all's various proclivities, I'm happy to be the one to do it. Oh, happy's a strong word, but I just think given the y'all's have had a day, and I think I maybe had a slightly nicer day. So I'm okay putting this kind of ending on my day and going to sleep. In fact, actually, there's not much that will stop me from sleeping if I want. But
you don't have to. But thank you for doing it. It's very, very, very kind. I mean, I will happily go, but as you've suggested yourself, I would. Yes, thank you.
And I think Elle is going to just quickly, like, while these guys are sort of like packing up the stuff, like Elle is gonna take all their like armor and belongings off them, and the ones that attacked, he's going to throw their bodies off the cliff.
The pirates are going off the cliff.
Yeah, I'm going to take all of their armor and belongings off them. The pirates are going off the cliff. The others are going. Fuck, I'm not digging a ditch right now, but like they're kind of like going off, and like I'm gonna cover them with some like leaves and stuff just to like let them do something, and then I will get around to digging them a thing.
Okay.
And then as me and Jacques are dragging the body off to the edge. Now you see, it's all about the ecosystem. Now if you feed a predator, there's a lot of like bottom feeders and scavengers that follow them. Then the predators, when they don't have anything to eat, they leave, and slightly bigger fish come along to eat the scavengers. It's like the circle, and then we can fish for the bigger fish. You see? It's like a cycle. You gotta keep feeding the sea so the sea can feed y'all.
That's
the implication here that Elle regularly murders people to throw into the sea.
You hoof those bodies off the side, and you've stripped them all down. You've got a big pile of stuff, which I'll do, another time. And you respectfully lay the other bodies next to each other in a shadier spot.
Leaves and
Yeah, and in the kind of little scrub area on that island. Cece and Mav, are you walking back to the homestead?
I think so.
Yeah.
The plan is for us to all go back, right?
So Elle, am I right in thinking that you're staying in the lighthouse cottage, or you're going to do that and then go back to the homestead as well?
So it might be worth. I mean, you do what you think is best, but just it did like break today. If maybe one person stayed
I can stay. Tonight. I can stay. I don't need a lot of sleep, and Jax can wake me up if there's anything. We can kind of alternate. Yeah, we'll stay. Y'all's go get some rest. Now, I did move the boxes inside. I did not unpack anything, so if y'all's get around, like y'all can kind of claim your rooms and kind of begin unpacking or whatever. But
what kind of time of night is it currently, roughly?
It's like late, right?
Yeah.
It's starting to get late. I mean, it's probably around 9:30.
Oh.
How about we do that in the morning?
That's fine. Like I was just like, as and when y'all's get around, I was pre-warning y'all that like I didn't bring all of the boxes up from the beach and unpack everything. Like I just moved the boxes up and then I went and had myself a time and also went fishing to feed us.
No, yes, it's been a terribly long day. I think all I'll really need to get to bed is my duvet protector and my 3 blankets. But that's honestly, I think
Jax did carry the kind of the owlbear share of y'all's luggage, so it should have been.
And
safe
my diffuser, I could do with my diffuser.
You bought a diffuser? I wish I'd have thought of this stuff.
Oh, darling, honestly, we can. I mean, we will not be sharing beds. Archivea terrifies me. However,
Lydia, do I know that name?
Roll history at disadvantage because you have purposefully avoided civilization.
Yeah, I just didn't know if that meant that I would know who to avoid. Like I don't know how involved they are with the kind of effort at home.
Yes, my darling, I'm so glad that you.
My lowest one was a 14.
Ooh.
I'm proficient in history, guys.
Oh.
Archivea rings the bell but not.
That's enough. Like if it just like I don't need to know what. It's just like a mind worm.
You don't know who Archivea is other than somebody who did go to war. And you know, over the years, when you have spoken to people, and it's people who've woven stories, they've woven stories about this incredible war hero that made a name for herself on the battlefield, and that's all you know. You don't know anything modern about her.
Yes,
cool.
Darling, I'm so glad you informed me before of your background before my testicles were ripped from from inside out, for trying anything on. But yes, the diffuser will change your life, darling. We'll
I have one at home. I just I didn't think to bring it.
Oh well, you must.
Yeah.
Come.
Oh.
I'll let you borrow it at some point.
Thank you. So
You're walking and talking, yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. You make your way back to the homestead. It's like dark by the time that you get there, and you both have dark vision, so it's not too tricky. But it takes a bit of time, and you light a couple of candles throughout the house, and
I think with my last spell slot, I would have bought out. I'd have made a what you fucking call them, unseen servant. Given the unseen servant a couple of candles, lit the candles, and they're kind of like paving the way a little bit so that we can actually see sort of like a little bit in front of us.
Okay, nice. Sorry, I just had. Oh yeah, okay, here it is. Forward something to you. You go to the homestead. You know it is. You took a brief look at it when you were there before, and you know, there is that little pool of blood still there. There is this beautiful spring in the middle, and you now look on the opposite side. There is etched into the wall and then painted over and over and over again is this writing across the wall. I mean, I can happily read it, but I do an awful lot of talking. So if somebody wants to read it, they're welcome to. I just sent it.
Oh, I was gonna say let
Whoever,
Tom read it.
I don't mind.
Tom read it.
What?
Me? What?
Tom can read it because he is. He's probably the one that's like, you know, with his lights, like illuminating it.
Welcome to Eisodos Stin Aridia. You have been chosen from the many because of your true heart, patriotic soul, and many arcane gifts. Congratulations, you are the very finest the Iridian Empire has to offer. The island, lighthouse, residence, homestead, and everything here is in your hands to nurture and care for until your stint is over. The lighthouse not only saves the lives of seamen every day, but it is a beacon to those why did you make me read this? To those entering Iridian waters that they are crossing the threshold into the greatest civilization in history. We hope your stay here will be enriching. Lighthouse. The lighthouse must emit light constantly. This is the most sacred law of Eisodos. There is a separate manual for the upkeep of the lampstone at the lighthouse cottage. It is advisable to memorize it, as you will not only need to feel confident in maintenance, but in the actions, arcane or otherwise, for every eventuality. Island. As an official resident of Eisodos, you may not leave the island or its surrounding waters for any reason. You have been equipped with soil, seed, fuel, and instructions on how to live self-sufficiently, full stop. We recommend you quickly acquaint yourselves with the knowledge of farming, both arable and pastoral, if you are to survive as well as structural maintenance. If you are to survive as well. Sorry, I can't see the full stops. Structural maintenance. The buildings you find here are your responsibility. If you leave them in disrepair, you doom your successors. Encourage the farm. I'm going to go this way. Hold on.
Sorry, just for when Lydia said something was written on the walls, my head immediately went to in blood.
Yeah,
and then when you started reading out like a guide, I was like, this is intense.
It's fully no zombies, whatever the fuck it is. No zombies. Encourage the farm to procreate, as well as the pastoral animals. Beasts of burden are a necessary part of the island and are not shipped in with new inhabitants. The main island contains your homestead, a small mountain range, an orchard, a freshwater lake, and some fallow land that, if well maintained, can continue to supply great foraging rewards. Also, I will just say, thanks. This boy's dyslexic as fuck.
I'm sorry.
I'm dyslexic as fuck.
I tried to find the best, clearest font.
No. I love it. The southern island is mostly taken with farmland and the barns. The west island is where you will find the temple and shrines. Whatever you find wanting during your stay should be communicated to the captain of the year to the captain of the ship that picks you up, so they can adjust accordingly in future years. In this way, you are responsible not just for your stay, but for those that follow you. In the library, you will find encyclopedias and books that can teach you many of the skills you will need to get by. It is advisable to spread the skills over all 24 of you.
What?
It is advisable to spread the skills over all 24 of you so that everyone feels useful.
Why am I the only one that can do this stuff? Lydia, you just made a Nikki at work simulator. It should be 24 people, but I'm the only one who can fucking do it.
So that all happens. I'm assuming we'll pop that in the Discord.
Yeah, I'll pop it in the Discord.
I've just put the Halfling supper song lyrics
Incredible.
in the Discord.
You know, as I kind of described last time, this homestead is falling down in certain areas. I mean, this is a homestead that housed 24 people, so it is vast. but is now crumbling, but you can pick a room to sleep in. And now that you've had a meal, you know, there is the night is moving in. You're both probably knackered. You can do as you wish.
I would immediately like to find a very nice room.
Mav just out loud
Roll
saying,
investigation to see whether you manage. There's between Mav and Cece, they'd be like siblings going into a new house, being like.
I was gonna say,
I
Cece's
fully, as
doing
soon as
a
I
similar
walk,
thing, like no.
as soon as I walk through the doors, I kind of go push CC and do that.
Oh, fuck. Roll investigation.
Me as well.
Both of you can roll investigation.
Oh, this is gonna
and
go
then
well.
I'd like a dexterity check so that I know who is quickest off the mark.
the real curse, the real energy that the three of us always have when making a trio of D&D characters is sibling energy, like well and true sibling energy. Any of the three sets of characters, and it's any of our characters that we three have played in the same campaign. There's sibling energy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Always.
But I'm the one with the big age gap. Like who's the significantly older and has already left home.
So give me your investigation rolls first.
Yep. 12.
Take 10 off that. 2.
We both take really shit rooms, but we're super pleased.
Cece's in a
Give me
cupboard.
your dex rolls.
Dex roll.
Sorry, Dex.
Is it Dex save or just Dex roll?
No, just a roll.
Cool,
A
cool,
check.
cool. That was a 21.
I got 14.
Mav fully shoulder barges you as you try and walk up the stairs, and he is up and away and like bashing open every door and like looking in and moving on to the next one, bashing the door in and like looking in. Mav, you find a room where somebody has clearly taken like a sledgehammer to the wall and knocked it through to the next one, so you've got a double room. Cece, you open a door and go, oh, this is nice, like corner room, and settle in. And it you've kind of unpacked your stuff. Mav, when you go in and take a look at what room she's picked, it's actually a closet. It doesn't even really have a bed, but she's just put like a blanket down on the floor, and she doesn't really.
This is how people sleep, right?
This is how the poor people
I think as I walk over, I'm going, the room I've chosen is not even very nice. It's really quite horrible, but I guess I will take this. What the fuck are you doing?
This is my bed.
This is no, darling, no, absolutely not. This is, my room is terrible, but yours is no. Come. We're going to try and find you a better room.
Okay, thank you.
You find another good room for her. It's got it's not as big as yours, but it's got a nice view, and the bed is particularly good, and like it was probably just lived in by one of the previous people. So although you'll have to strip the bed, you won't have to like take the whole mattress out and give it like a big bashing and de-dusting. So you've got your rooms, and if you're settling in for the evening, is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I think so. Just very quickly, Lydia, because we fucking designed this house kind of together. Whereabouts are the rooms? Are they on the top floor?
There are essentially, at one point there was 24 rooms, so they go over both floors, and there is essentially a balcony that runs round the middle spot, which has the well in the middle, and there's just rooms going off. Okay. I mean, Tom, to a certain extent, you can tell me.
Cool.
You built the thing.
Darlings. So, do you want to see it?
Come on.
Yeah, if you got it.
And Tom's now going to go and unbox, because he still hasn't unpacked properly.
There's a man who still doesn't have his dice out.
Yeah. No, he left them. He just left them somewhere else.
I think Elle's going to sleep outside.
You're not going to sleep in
nice.
the little cottage?
But like, I think given weather permitting, Elle will sleep outside more often than he'll sleep inside. Like, just kind of as he's lived his life. Like, I think he likes hammock sleeping.
This is kind of as far as I got in the end, but this is very much like favela Riyadh kind of thing. You've got rooms.
Ooh, fancy! Oh, it's been so long since I've seen it.
Tom, you have to take some more pictures and put them in the Discord.
Yeah.
Look at that detail with the
So
floorboard
good.
and everything.
So these are all of the upstairs rooms. And then
Tom, you've done a gold line where it should actually be knocked through because someone's knocked through a wall, so it's actually all wrong.
Oh shit! And then
actually-
this is the courtyard in the centre, with all of the rooms hanging off. So, if I were to, are we on the same floor? Like so if
You can
say
be
if-
on the.
like
Yeah,
here,
you can be on that floor. Yeah.
like. Is Michelle's like is CC's like here, or is it kind of?
You tell me. I mean,
It's up to you, Michelle.
I think Cece wants one of those corner rooms, so she's got like a good view, maybe
Cool.
of two ways.
One of
Beautiful.
these.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That was it.
and
Elle's going to drag his bed out into the courtyard.
and you tuck yourself for the evening. And Elle, be honest with me. Do you just go to sleep, or do you try and stagger it so that you are asleep when
I'm
Jax is
gonna-
awake?
I'm gonna-
Jax is not an elf. Jax needs to sleep.
Yeah, so Jax is going to have 4 hours sleep now, and then Elle is going to have 4 hours sleep, like trance or nap. Elle doesn't do like the meditative trance thing. He like fully reclines and is like he's like, but yeah. So
Does a dad nap?
yeah, full on. He's an old guy. Yeah, I think he's going to give Jax 4 hours because Jax has just eaten a lot of fish, like a lot of fish.
Sleepy. He's sleepy.
And then I think he's going to spend that 4 hours digging a shallow grave.
Yay!
You wouldn't be able to do it on that island because that's pure rock. But if you went, like, if you nipped over onto the main island, you could probably do it.
In which case, no, I don't think. I think the inclination is that, hey, Mav knows what he's not good at, and I tell you what he wants to be is fucking nearby because he doesn't want a minute to fix this. He wants 30 minutes to fix this. Did I just call myself Mav?
You did.
I did.
Yeah, you
I
did.
apologise. Elle knows what he's not good at, which is this shit. So he wants to be close by. So I think actually he's going to tidy up, and he's going to take all the ashes and the fish bones and stuff like that, and toss all that into the sea. Like I think he's just going to kind of do the leave no trace thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the leaves and the fish bones and the guts and the scales are off the cliff into the sea, and the ash and the twigs are all off and gone.
Incredible. I beg you to stop doing that. Just stop, because you get caught every time. Homestead people, do you tuck yourself in and go to bed?
I think
They mock you, Malloy. They mock
Cece,
you.
we do mock you, Malloy. I
Rather
think
they mock me.
Cece is a bit unsure about like going to sleep straight away, and will sort of mooch around a bit. But I think as soon as her head hits the pillow, she's out like a light.
Yeah. Deep sleeps.
Yeah.
And Mav too.
Yeah, I think Mav is like in bed, kind of awake, probably long enough to get a short rest. Uses and like full on kind
happy
of
for that.
insomniac kind of. I just can't.
You're overtired, aren't you? You're an
This is
overtired boy.
And I think after a little while, he kind of kicks himself a little bit for doing so. He's not happy about it, but he does conjure the silent image again of Euphoria in the chair, and in a chair, and kind of looks at her for a second and says, I'm so sorry. And I think turns over and goes to sleep.
You drift off into a deep sleep. A sleep which has creams in it. You dream of running to the lighthouse as you did yesterday. You see the people fighting in the mist and the pulse of purple. You see again the Dragonborn fall through the mist and hit the ground with a sickening thud. And you crouch to look at them. Blood spills over their mouth and washes broken teeth across their face and into the pool of blood behind them. And as you look at this slender, female, green Dragonborn, there is a heart-stopping moment of recognition. Her eyes are open and they fix on you. These cool eyes fix you in place. And Zilly speaks to you and says, "Did you think you could run from me? Did you think you could flee from your shame?" And a green taloned hand reaches for your throat and grasps it. You feel the nails digging into your flesh. And you wake, bolt upright in your bed, looking out of the window. It is still dark, but a little light loosens the night from the sky. You get up from your bed. You slip on a robe. And you shuffle through the homestead, desperate to breathe the cooler air and maybe smoke some pipe by the water. The morning is clear and dew begins to cling to the grass and the flowers. You stand on the shoreline, looking at the water gently lapping at the stony edge. Something catches your eye. A tiny rectangle bobbing on the surface of the water. A waterlogged book makes its way towards you like a tiny boat. You reach to pick it up as it comes near enough for you to. And you read on the spine, it says, "The Ravaged Lands Saga by Zilly Kloros." And you were quick enough to read that before you even stood up. So you are still bent over with your hand almost still submerged in the water. And a green spiny hand bursts out of the water and grabs hold of your wrist. And once again, you wake in bed. The bedsheet is tightly tangled round you. Those 3 blankets that you wrapped yourself in are almost strangling you. But you know this time, you feel the air on your skin. You know this time you are truly awake. And you hear a noise from outside. What do you do?
Can I perceive the noise? Can I perceive what the noise is?
Roll perception. Are you looking out of the window, or are you just trying to listen through the night air?
I think I'm trying to listen to start with. Oh shit, that's a 12.
You are not sure what you hear, what you had heard that caught your ear, but as you listen a bit closer, the water doesn't quite sound right. You know, you as you were being lulled to sleep, you know, there is always the sound of the tiniest of tides against the island, but in this moment, you hear a kind of splish splashing.
No.
By pushing it.
I immediately go over to the window to see if I can see anything.
You can't really. You see a lot of the beautiful gardens, the hollyhocks, the fig tree, and you can't quite see anything because your dark vision goes for 60 feet.
Okay. I with my arcane recovery, I technically get 2 spell slots. The silent image took 1. I jump out of the window and cast Featherfall on myself to go down and start running towards where the sound was with the dream in my mind.
Incredible. You run, you feel the kind of slap of wet grass against your unslippered feet as you run through the grasses and the plants, and looking at the shoreline, which is south facing from where you were, you come up short as you see silhouetted against a low moon, several figures wading out of the water and more heads lifting out of the surface of the water. Some of them are already on the shore and moving towards you, strange angles to their elbows and shoulders as they shift forward, dripping from their elbows and wrists and fingers. I'm going to put a pin in it there. I beg you to leave me alone. Elle, can you roll me? Well, you've got a.
Can I say something, Lydia, before you do this to me? I think Elle probably doesn't have it in him to wake Jax up when the 4 hours is up, and I think Elle just probably goes to sleep, resting on Jax's back.
Okay. In which case, I'll say this: you slept outside today, and something wakes you, and you open your eyes to see just 5 feet away from you a silhouetted dark, you can only see in grayscale, I think, with your kind of elven dark vision. Yeah. And there is a figure there with a spear in its hand, raising it up, ready to attack. And we'll finish there for this evening.
Fuck Lydia.
Pick it up next week.
Fuck Lydia.
Oh.
Just a happy little RP episode, guys. Just a real chill, relaxed, soothing episode.
I mean, Elle had, honestly, even factoring in the moving the dead bodies, Elle had a great day.
Hey guys, you know when you've internalized your character's backstory enough for something to happen in a dream that actually makes you feel sick? That though. Fucking hell.
Love that for you.
Love this for you.
Well done, Lydia.
Yeah,
Oh,
great job.
well, you're very welcome. Guys, join us this time next week when so these guys who have not yet, I think I'll have a think about whether Els had his proper 4 hours, but the rest of them have not completed a
You can say no,
long
like, if I'm honest, like, I just don't have any spell slots, like, I'm fine with that, like, it wouldn't fuck me up that much.
I have no spell slots.
Yeah,
You don't know what
how's
you're
that
about
featherfall feeling?
Oh.
How's that featherfall feeling?
When you were like, I actually technically get 2 spell slots back, and I used 1, so I'm just going to completely spuff the other one now.
But how good did he look as he just, his like nightgown just billowing out around him as he majestically floated
spaffed it up the wall.
Oh,
Mav is nothing
So
but a
good.
majestic
Cantrip.
spaffer.
How are your offensive cantrips, Mav?
Yep. Fine.
CC is asleep and away from you.
yep. But she is a warlock, so you know, I love that short rest.
Yeah, love that short.
Love that short.
Thank you very much for joining us, everyone.
Thank you so much.
If you're not already, jump into Discord. There's a street race going on, not 6 feet from where we are. So you know, that's fun for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got Dragon Age tomorrow.
Yeah, we do.
Boom. We've got. I don't know if we're streaming this week. Are we streaming Sunday?
No.
I don't. No.
No,
Cool.
because I'm still tired from
Yeah,
last week.
guys, it was 3 days ago.
Yeah.
Honestly, my body feels it still.
Yeah, well, we're still dealing with the side effects, so
Yeah.
we will come back at you with that stuff. Once again, thank you very much for all your support on the charity stuff.
Yeah.
Once again, go and support Starfall, made by our
Yes.
very own Rudy Runes, and our very own Thom is in it, as well as many other friends of the show.
Yeah.
Go check it the
watch
fuck
it.
out, and
Friday.
hey, even if it's not your thing, 1, try a new thing. 2, drop a review. Give the first one a listen.
Yeah.
That means the world to people. It
Yeah.
really fucking does.
Yeah.
Really does.
Thank you so much. We have lots of new exciting things coming out in the future, as I'm sure probably many of you have gleaned from the survey that was dropped in the thingy. Rooney, drop those stuff all links again.
Yeah.
Do
Drop them links before we go.
Also, hey, Michelle, who does the art for all of this, just constantly all of
Yes.
this incredible art.
If
Everything.
Yeah.
How are you doing for commissions? You got slots?
Oh, no, I am full for this month.
Follow
However,
at Feline Trickster.
next month,
Get ready.
I will be opening that up again.
Get your cash ready to drop on some sweet motherfucking character art.
Make
and
it
then
rain on character art.
Yeah.
Stay tuned in Discord for upcoming
Thanks.
Dragon Age smart fanfic reading,
Yeah.
which will be in the Discord.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and plan the guest-only post-campaign epilogue one-shot for the Barovia thing, and I've also made a decision the Bony Bones one-shot is going to be a stag do.
Yes.
So tune in for the Boney Jones.
Boney Jones is getting married.
Who's Bonnie Jones getting married to?
Whom?
Who's he getting married to?
You know
Boney
who.
Janes.
Boney Jones. So y'all are basically I'm doing a skeleton bard hangover.
Yeah. Yeah.
Skeletons, Ellen. Skeletal, then.
Nope.
I'll leave.
You got time to workshop it, Tom.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna do a Boney Jones hangover,
Yeah.
so that I don't have to play a DMPC the whole time.
Yeah.
They will have to retrace their steps through a stag do and try and find Boney Jones.
Yeah. Love
So
that.
that's what that's gonna look like whenever that happens. And I'm toying with the idea of making it Discord only.
So that people can watch.
Actually, specifically, so I can maybe make it a little bit of a drinking game,
Oh.
which has made Tom want to play in
This
it
is
immediately.
dangerous.
Just like a fun, like a D&D drinking game.
Oh dear.
Hey, listen, anything to legitimize my habit, I'm there for.
D&D.
D&D.
Yeah. So that if that happens, that will be Discord only because you know.
Yeah. So.
Not that you can't drink on Twitch. You just can't drink responsibly. It is so fucking hot.
Yeah.
So we're going to go. We love you all dearly. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Chat in the Discord. We'll put things. Rooney's put links. Follow Starfall on Twitter and
Follow.
do a review.
Yeah.
Just throw fucking 5 stars
nice
in. Like,
review.
cost you nothing. Cost you absolutely nothing.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Love you
Bye,
all.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
See you soon.